Okay, so you guys, what do we think they're asking for here? Not sure. Let's just use these as a little bit of, let's go back and remind ourselves. Guys, if I've got a right triangle, could I do the Pythagorean theorem on here to find this third side? I think that's the easiest, which is going to be side, whatever we want to call it. I'm just going to call it X. Whoa, let's go call it X. So what would my Pythagorean theorem look like to find that side of X? Yeah, X squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. Anyone know what 12 squared is? 144. Yeah, 13 squared? 160. Very good. Subtract 144 from that, and we're left with 25. Yeah, square root it. It's just 5. Does anyone remember that that's a 5, 12, 13 triangle? That's a Pythagorean triple. Comes out nicely. I love that. How would we find the angles? We could do tangent or sine or cosine. We could do any of them. I guess my question is, which angle do we want to find first? Do you want to find the black angle or the green angle? It doesn't matter. Green, I hear. So we're going to go green angle. Let's go name that green angle Y. If we wanted to find angle Y, again, you could use sine, cosine, or tangent. It doesn't matter. What do we feel like using? You want to go tangent because she wants to go opposite and adjacent? I'm fine with that. So you're saying the tangent of Y is the opposite, which is what? 12 over the adjacent, which is 5. What did we remind ourselves to do yesterday when you've got to find the angle? How do we find Y now? Yeah, the inverse. So we're going to take tangent to the negative 1. I know, it's hard to remember. So you guys, we're going to do second tan. Everyone's going to go type that in their calculator. Second tan of what over what? 12 over 5. Thank you. I wrote that wrong. 12 over 5. Anyone get 67.4? Yeah. All right, so that's that angle. Do I need to go do all that again?
No, you have 90 in the corner.
Agreed. So what are we going to do to find that third angle?
Add 90 and then subtract it from 180.
Yeah.
182.
Agreed. Okay, so that's my little reminder of that. Anyone remember how to find? Yeah.
My calculator isn't even.
Guys, do you remember how to find the area of a triangle? That's a good SAT reminder. Area is, does anyone remember? Divided by, boom, BH divided by 2. So this triangle here, what would be my base and my height? Yeah, 12 is my base. My height is 5. What would we have to do to that? Divided by 2. 30. The area of this is going to be 30, which is really easy. And we could say square units. That's really easy when they give us a perfect vertical height. But over here, it's not as easy, is it? What would be the area of that guy? We don't know yet, right? Like, we don't even know what the height would be. What I'm going to teach you today is a shortcut, and it's so much nicer. First, do you agree? In order to find the area of this triangle, we'd have to do base of 10 times height divided by 2. Gross, right? There's a shortcut, guys. The area, you could do that. We could go do SOHCAHTOA to find that. Or we could take 8 times 4 times the sine of this angle. Let's label this angle L for Liam. 8 times 4 times the sine of L, all of that divided by 2. That is another way to find area. Notice what I just did. Oh, wait, why would I do that? This is so silly of me. This is one way to do it. 8 times 4 times the sine of the angle between them. Y'all down with that? Divide that by 2 and you find the area. Could I have done that a different way with this 8 and 10? Yeah. Could I have said the area is also 8 times 10 times the sine of what angle? Yeah, because it's always got to be the one right between them. Sine of 22.3, all that divided by 2. Would you rather me do that or Liam's angle? I'd rather do this because all the information was already given to me, right? So you guys, let's go type that into our calculator. 8 times 10 times the sine of that angle. $15.2. Square units. Could we have gone and done base times height divided by 2? Sure, we would have had to go find that height and just would have taken us a lot of steps. So if you've got the tools to take the shortcut, let's do it. In order to use that shortcut, again, it's leg times the sine of the angle that those legs form. I cannot do, even if I knew that this angle, let's say that I knew, I cannot do, let's think about this way. 8, I cannot do 8 times 4 times the sine of that angle because that angle is not between 8 and 4. Okay? Okay. So let's go put in some vague things over here. Let's make this one up. Randomly pick the sides of the triangle and find the area. Guys, let's make some stuff up. How big do we want this leg to be? 4. How big do we want this leg to be? 8. How big we making this leg?
12.
It's got to be bigger than the sum of those two, so I'm down with 15. Yeah, so let's make that one, let's make that one 15. All right. What do we want this angle to be? 25. If that's all we've got, what is the formula we have to use?
8 times 15 and sine 25 over.
Beautiful. That's going to be the area. $25.4? Yeah? Square units. Bless you. The last thing I got to teach you today, angle of elevation and depression. Here's the biggest thing I got to tell you. If we're talking about in an airplane and we're running down the jet runway, we're going on the runway, and then what does the airplane do? Whoosh, takes off, right? This is the angle of elevation from the ground to the angle that plane is going up. Angle of depression is the airplane's flying along, and then we're going to start descending. This is the angle of depression. So if this is my angle of depression, whoop, that's not showing up, and this is my angle of elevation, will they always match?
Yes.
Yes. What kind of angles are those?
Interior angles.
Yeah, all right. We had a little geometry blast from the past. Alternate interior angles, SAT, ACT will totally hit this, you guys. So here's where people make the biggest mistakes. When it says, okay, let me just do a total sidebar. Ready? If I say, oh, I'm standing here and I'm looking up at a star, okay? And then I say the star's angle of depression is 30 degrees. You want to know what the mistake people always do is they put that here. That is not the depression because you guys, you agree, angle of elevation always equals angle of depression. So what people struggle with is we forget to draw in that kind of invisible horizontal. This is the angle of depression. That's 30 degrees. It will always match the angle of elevation no matter what. Okay, the angle of depression has to go from a horizontal down. It's not from this line down there. So, does that help me then? Oh yeah, I've got this little right triangle and I can just focus on this thing. So even if they say, oh, my angle of depression is da-da-da, put it right here. It's going to be the same as the angle of elevation. And this is so much easier for us. Okay, so let's go back over here. Oh, I needed me and my star to go away. Okay. So here, let's just put it in. Let's say my angle of depression was 42 degrees. Where would I put that? Red, blue, white, whatever. Yeah, angle of depression is 42. Where also is 42? Blue. What would this be then? 180 minus 142 would get me 138. And that would also be 138. Okay. Let's just take a peek, see. It says if an airplane takes off at an 18-degree angle, let's go draw ourselves a picture. Boom, here comes my airplane. You don't really need the airplane. What you need is the triangle. My airplane, but I'll draw you because I'm such a good artist. Okay? Airplane is taking off at an 18-degree angle. Are we saying angle A, I'm going to put this in black, A, B, or C is 18 degrees? Angle A is going to be 18 degrees.
And then you need your invisible line.
It says traveling 350 miles per hour. How long will it take to reach an altitude of 3,000 degrees? Is altitude going to be side X, Y, or Z? Altitude is how high something is, that vertical height. So good. So I'm going to put little 3,000 right here. Do you agree the path of my airplane is this blue line right here? That's the path of my airplane, right? So they're wondering how long will it take? We got to figure out, first of all, just how long this side is. Sound good? So we're looking, let's go label that X. I got to go solve for X. I've got a right triangle. Could I use SOHCAHTOA in a right triangle? Yeah, I don't want to use law of sines and law of cosines because that's a lot more work. If it's a right triangle, I can do SOHCAHTOA. Let's do it. So, ka, or toa to find X.
Well, can't you just find the other angle?
True, I don't need that angle though.
Would it be cosine because it's opposite and a hypotenuse?
It is opposite and a hypotenuse, but OH would go with sine, SOH. Very good, SOHCAHTOA. So you're saying the sine of 18 equals what over what?
3,000 over X.
Opposite over hypotenuse is 3,000 over X. Marcus is here, ready to go. How do we solve for X then, y'all? Multiply by X, I dig it. And we've got X times the sine of 18.
And then wouldn't you divide the sine of 18?
What are we going to type in our calculator?
3,000 over sine.
Yeah, 3,000 divided by the sine of 18. 3,000 divided by sine 18. 9708.2.
Yeah.
X is 9708.2. That's how long that is. And it says how long will it take? I don't really care. I don't need us to convert that to miles per hour. That's just the distance that it's going to have to go. I'm fine with that, just miles. Oh, feet. Wouldn't that be feet? Because why did I know that that's going to be feet?
3,000 feet.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, I'm good with not converting that any further. Let's just do the last one. If the angle of depression, guys, don't worry about it. Draw yourself a right triangle. Here is my beautiful sun. If the angle of depression of the sun is 35 degrees, am I putting that in X, Y, or Z? X every time. People get tempted for Y, that's wrong. That's 35. The angle of depression of the sun is that. And a tree's shadow is 11 feet long.
The shadow would be.
Is this my tree right here? Is that my tree?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my tree.
Okay, Kristen's tree.
Right. The tree's shadow is 11 feet long. Do we want to say A, B, or C? My shadow. Where's your shadow? Where do you see your shadow? On the ground. What were you say, Marcus? Yeah. Do you agree that the shadow is on the ground, right? That's where we see our shadows?
Yeah.
How tall is the tree? Do we want A or B now?
B.
We want the height of the tree, which is going to be right there. So, ka, or toa? Toa. We need the opposite H. We have the adjacent 11. So we're going to say tangent of 35 is the opposite H over the adjacent 11. $7.7 feet. Let's draw one's problem together. I'm going to do it in the extra space that I have. I'm going to just draw it right here. Find the area of a triangle with sides 5, 8, and 10. I'm going to just put 5 across from my A, 8 across from my B, 10 across from my C. I don't care where you would have done that. But if you want to be consistent with how I'm about to set mine up, we could do it the same. You guys, in order to use my little formula that I see Parker's looking for, I love it, Parker. The area formula is leg times leg. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's leg times leg divided by times sine of that angle divided by 2. Or we could do 5 and 10 times the sine of that angle. Or we could do 10 and 8 times the sine of that angle divided by 2. But we don't have any of those angles, do we? Could we use law of sines or cosines to get an angle? You want to go law of cosines? Oh, you're saying we have to go law of cosines. I completely agree. Sine, I've got too many unknowns. All right, which one do we want to find, y'all? A, B, or C? Angle A, B, or C? Oh, I literally heard an A, B, and a C. Now I hear 2 C's. Oh, now I hear 2 A's. Raise your hand for A. 2. Raise your hand for B. 3. Raise your hand for C. Oh, C wins. We're going with C. Parker just was politician right there. And Parker, maybe you need to go into politics because you won over the crowd. All right, you guys, we're looking for angle C, which means that we've got to do C squared. What am I going to put by itself? What's C's side? 10 squared. I'm going to put 10 by itself. Equals what squared plus what squared?
8 squared.
Sounds good. 8 squared and 5 squared. Minus 2 times what 2 sides? 8 and 5. Sine or cosine? Cosine, because this one's the law of cosines. Which angle are we looking for? Awesome. You guys, we have things that we got to go type in our calculator. I personally, I'm going to say I got 100 here. Oops. I got 64. I got 25. People might be skipping steps from me, and that's totally fine. 2 times 8 times 5. 80. Cosine of C. $11? Did you guys, anyone get an 11 before they divided by? Yeah. Wow. And then when I divided that out, I got negative 0.1375?
Yeah.
No? Then how do I get C?
Second.
Yeah, got it. Inverse cosine, second cosine, negative 13.75. You figured it out, Hall? Cool. Wow, 97.9 degrees? That's it. That's a commercial. I mean, a radio station. 97.9 degrees, anybody? Yeah. Okay. Now do I have the fixins to be able to find the area of my triangle? How do I find the area now? Side times side. So we're going to do 5 times 8, 8 times 5, doesn't matter. Sine or cosine? Sine of my angle, which is 97.9, all over? 2. Woo, that one took a lot of time. Let's try that, see if we all get the same thing. $19.8 square centimeters this time. So if I'm flying a kite, the amount of string needed to fly a kite. You guys, would string for my kite be A, B, or C? It's going to be C, right? String is going to be this. And they said, find the amount of string needed to fly a kite at 220 feet. My bad. So we're looking for this amount of string. The height of 220 feet would be which one on my picture now? A, so I'm going to put 220 there. If the angle of elevation is 40, angle A, B, or C is 40. Yeah, people, good job. So, ka, or toa? Sine, I agree, because we have the sine of 40 is the opposite over the hypotenuse.
220 over x.
Agreed. Then what do we do?
Multiply by x
Multiply by x.
on the side. And then divide by sine.
Divide by the sine of 40. Make sure we're getting this written down. finished? What was your answer?
342.
Divided by sine of 40. Love it. 342 point, are we cool with just saying 3? 342.3. What's our units?
Feet.
Love it. Guys, you're done. Go us. Go us. Do you want to schedule for next week? Because you were asking about what are we doing timeline-wise? Because we did not have a quiz today, and I apologize if that scared you guys. Let me let you know.
I thought it was like more of like a review, like how we sometimes have reviews.
So we're gonna have a review on Monday just to make sure our heads there. We'll do the take-home quiz on block day for the test on Thursday then.